What is good, everybody? Where I live, we live. We're here with another episode of In the Lab, a podcast where we take a dive into analytics of fighting game patches, players, news, and topics. I am ATL Riot, joined by Omega. Omega, what's good?
Yo.
And with this week's guest, we have a player who is stamped as a high-level Anji in Guilty Gear Strive, as well as one of the most threatening Vasaragas in Grand Blue Racing vs. Rising, with numerous notable top finishes at not only locals such as Superplex, or stacked online such as 7th in Grand Blue for both TNS and WAS, but with just as significant placements such as 3rd in Grand Blue and 9th in Guilty Gear Strive at GMAC Dallas 2024, 4th in Grand Blue at Secret Combo Breaker, 2nd in Grand Blue at First Attack, and most recently 4th in Grand Blue for CEO Otaku. You can catch him on NetPlay or Weekly Locals, gearing up for Frosty Frosting happening just next week. Hailing from Texas, BlueSkyGuy, what's the word?
I'm doing good, Joe. How are you?
Better now. I didn't mess that up the third time. All right, well, well, of course, with a new guest, the best way to start is from the beginning. So, I guess take us through, how you even came to be with, starting playing fighting games in general, and also in the competitive aspect.
Honestly, it started when I was in high school during COVID, of course. There's not much else to do. I had a laptop it didn't run games super well except for fighting games. I had gotten Melty Blood Actress Again for free because that's how everyone got it, and I played that so much. And I eventually got into other fighting games like Guilty Gear XX and then Xrd, which eventually led me to Strive. And then later on, I eventually found myself going to my local and improving from there to where I am now.
Oh yeah, that's definitely about. Yeah, I know most of people you see now is start from COVID that era because we had no choice. So, but it's all good. And then also as well too good you found a local scene, which is also definitely blessed. So, but with that, I guess with Strive being out, I guess at what point did you kind of decide to start being competitive, or was it just like a spur of the moment thing? You just kept playing, you just got nice, you were just like, what, let's see how far I can take it.
For Strive, it was I played the game online a lot. I was online demon. I just played in tower. I played that game so much, and then eventually in the Guilty Gear community Discord, I was looking at a VOD that someone had posted in there. I'm like, oh, I've been there before for a Smash local. Is this here? Is this in this area? And they were like, yeah, you should pull up. And I was like, yeah, let's do that. I went. I didn't do too well. I mean, no, I did fine. I got 4th on my first local. I did all right. But then later on, the people in the local community, they were like, yo, this guy, he's like pretty good, because people had like found me. They're like, oh, on rating update, he was like number 2 Anji. Like his elo was super high. So eventually, I just kept interacting, kept going, and eventually branched out from the local scene. Went to Texas Showdown. And from then, I just started going everywhere, as much as I could. Competing's just so fun.
Yeah, definitely valid. I guess before we really get to anything else as well, I noticed as well that you kind of also have some decent playtime in other games as well. You're playing, I'm seeing like Street Fighter, Tekken, Under Night, and some of you have some decent placements as well too. So is that just that that competitive fire just going elsewhere, just down in other games?
Yeah, honestly, when Under Night had come out, I really wanted to go competitive in that game, because Under Night was another one of those games that I picked up during COVID that I had so much fun with, but I wasn't really good at the time. But with Under Night 2 coming out, I put in more of that recent fighting game skill into that game, and I got pretty decent at that. Tekken is all just a for fun thing. I don't think I'm good at that game at all yet, but I did play Melty Blood pretty competitively when it did come out. I got, I think, top 32 at that Evo 1 year, which I think was pretty good. That was definitely my highlight at the time. I placed higher in that game than I did at Strive that same year, which was pretty crazy. Yeah.
As well. But yeah, moving on. So I guess people who follow you for quite some time, right, have noticed. Obviously, like you mentioned that you were considered to be like a notable Anji from a lot of locals, but also from online players as well that ran into you from Tower. But with the release of Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising, it seems like there was kind of a bit of absence there. So I guess, was there a point where I guess either you were kind of like dissatisfied with Strive, or just wanted to try something new, or kind of what kind of made you even want to get to such a high level in Grand Blue when that came out?
With Grand Blue was one of the. It was one of the first times it was honestly the first time I had played it. Okay, so for original Grand Blue, right? it was the first time I was there for a new fighting game release, OG Grand Blue versus. It was the first time I had gotten a game on release and learned with a bunch of people. I wasn't good at it by any means. I peaked at like A rank, which is not good at all. By my standards, I don't think that was good at all. And with Rising coming out, it was like, oh, I can kind of rekindle this fire and take what knowledge that people have already gotten and apply it to myself and learn along with them with the new stuff that they added on to the game. And that, along with I guess a new fire for me being ignited, and the fire for Strive was like dwindling. It was at an all-time low for me. My results were kind of staggering. Like I didn't feel like I was getting too much improvement, and the game was starting to feel stale, or even just like overbearing at some times. At some points with certain characters like Gold Lewis, Soul, HC, it just felt so much of the same, and not much is being elaborated on. It just felt like uh, I just wasn't having fun anymore. I couldn't really enjoy it the way I used to with like season 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was definitely a rough time when first trial, at least when Rising came out. I should say. I actually was gonna ask that earlier because I don't remember if you said it in your original pilot games you played during COVID. If you played vanilla.
Vanilla Grand Blue. I was very casual. Very casual. I like super casual. I wasn't even thinking about competing at fighting games at the time. Like I was just passively like playing fighting games. I thought they were fun. I wasn't really watching tournaments or anything. Like I would just be like, oh, I tuned in for like Combo Breaker Top 8 for like the big game at the time because they might announce something. Oh, these players are pretty good. I know Arsenal Nash, I know all them, but it's like I wasn't looking to be competitive at all at the time.
Alright, so what made you pick up Big Raga? I just gotta know.
Asuraga, he's cool. That's honestly, he's like one of my favorite characters in the series. Like before, I'm just like, oh, he just looks sick. But I played the Grand Blue like Monster Hunter like game Relink, and they elaborate on his lore. I'm like, dude, this character is so sick. Like when I play the game, I want to like be Asuraga. Like he's so cool. Like that's honestly why I play him. Like I didn't really care how good or bad he was. Like this is my character. I wanna play this guy. He's so sick.
I need more content for that Relink game. That shit was so sick.
Relink is good. Relink is very good.
Bro, I haven't seen Relink in a while.
They stopped. This is done. They finished the game.
Yeah, they released the DLC. It's
damn.
But it's still a good game. A great game. I recommend everyone to try it.
Yeah. It did seem like a vibe, honestly, when I was like watching some mutuals play it. I remember this one night I was like watching our friend Etchy play. I was just commentating. This was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's
god.
crazy.
Oh man. So I know you did mention that you were kind of more on the casual side of vanilla, but I guess with the time that you played there and as well as Rising, is there anything that you prefer from either one?
Honestly, I was too casual in vanilla to really have a stance on it, but I went back to vanilla recently just to mess around with the game, see what was up with it. And honestly, defense in that game felt horrible. Like, defending in that game, there was no nuance. It's just like I have to wait until they're eventually not plus or too far away from me to do something, but even then, it's not even my turn. It just felt super in the attacker's favor, a lot like Strive, really, where it was like, oh, they're a plus for so long. Do I do something? Do I wait? I don't really know. But then you go to Rising. Brave counter, as it is a problem, definitely, right now.
Yeah.
It's definitely a necessity with the way Grand Blue's frame beta is. Because the way plus frames are in that game, it gets really oppressive. And the way throws are as well, it is very scary. So I think defense in Rising is definitely a lot better with delay tech and guard cancel. Being the way they are, it's really nice.
Yeah, I think I remember that during my time there. I know I still get annoyed when like I get Brave counter, it's like, it's cool, on paper it's like nice, but it's like, damn, it's still plus.
No. Like, plus and block guard cancel is not it. It's not good at all.
Bro, I remember I almost like tweaked out because I was like hosting my tournament for it, and it was after some patch. I think it was after like Versusha came out, and I like asked because someone did a BC, and I was just like, yo, is that still plus? Everybody was like, yeah. I was like, bro, why? The whole chat was like, yeah, I don't know why.
It's crazy. If anything, it should not be plus, but right now it is a necessary evil with the way certain characters structure offense. It is a pretty... They need to they kind of just got to readjust the game. Like, not completely, but just around that mechanic, which is really annoying. So I'll see what they do with later patches.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of later patches, I guess currently now, especially, I think there's been a patch with Vakala, I think that's her name, that came out.
Yeah.
Was there a patch after they came out as well, or was it just that one?
With Vikala, she just really dropped with bug fixes. The biggest patch we had gotten recently was for Sucia, where we got major balance changes, buffs, and nerfs across the board, but Vikala didn't really drop with anything besides her and some pretty, like, random bug changes. But yeah, we've been in a pretty big content drought since then, because honestly, for this battle pass for the game, like, the end game battle pass, like where you can get like a costume and stuff, we haven't gotten one of those in forever. Like, we've been in a pretty big drought, which is why morale for the games are pretty low, but it still has like a decent player base right now.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that. I haven't been paying as much attention to Grab as I really wanted to, because I still have interest in like watching the game still fun. I haven't been able to host because of IRL shit cooking me, and then but I still would like to eventually commentate at some point. But yeah, I'm looking here, like, since like the last patch was like late November. It was like
August. Last big patch was.
Wait, really?
Arsucia came out August 20 something. That was the last major patch for the game.
Oh, that was last. Oh, okay, baby. Okay. Never mind. All right, cool.
Vikala, that wasn't really a patch.
Yeah.
There wasn't much with that. Which came out October.
Got you. Okay. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
Alright, so I saw your Twitter. I saw like your updated what was it, tier list? And I saw like Catalina top 3. And when I played the game, she was like the middest tier ever. What the happened?
Catalina's too good right now. She quite literally does everything. Anything you'd want in a character, she does everything. Great fireball. Her lariats is absurdly good. These are safe. If anything, she's plus most of the time. Light wall, her 5U, that move is absurd now. It is. What happens is like a random guard point in neutral. It's kind of like Anji spin if anything, but you can't like painfully throw it. You can't like.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it is pretty crazy. Like, they just throw it out, and if they armor a move, they get a full combo. And they do it after a button, they backdash off, and the button's safe, and they're at optimal spacing for Catalina to do whatever she wants. That being like 6XL or 2M. And then also her combo game is probably the best in the game. Off of any straight poke, if you hit confirm into her ultimate fireball, she gets a full corner-to-corner combo everywhere on the screen. And with her, positioning doesn't really matter too much, because every hit leads to that scenario, like corner to corner, start the scenario, which is super strong in her favor. She also just does a really good chunk of damage. She has like higher on average damage than most characters in the game right now. Like, she is honestly, like, how I like to call it, that's a winter soldier, a perfect soldier, perfect character.
Wow. Wow.
Man, but that's insane. Because I guess so. Do you recall when exactly she would have been kind of up there in that regard? Because yeah, I remember her being notified as like kind of middle of the road character for quite a bit. Or the kind of just like a situation where she might have like always had it, but it's just like there wasn't enough players or not enough evidence, I guess, or whatever it was.
If anything, she always had the potential to be really solid, but they actually kind of like overtuned her this patch. Because the first time she had gotten buffed, they made her fireball like sort of like pop up on hit. They're giving her really good corner conversions, which was not corner conversions, it's conversions mid-screen, which is fine. Like, right where she was there, that was honestly perfectly fine. But then they buffed her 5U, giving it less recovery, and it starts up faster too. So she gets that combo game I talked about before. That's where she got it, where they buffed the 5U, which made her absurd. Which was the Versucia patch where they buffed that, which she honestly did not really need at all. Like, a 5U buff would have been fine, but not the way they buffed it there. It is pretty absurd.
Sheesh.
Yeah, it seems like that's a common theme we're seeing with a lot of games. I feel like.
Yeah, definitely.
um, but yeah, I guess we could probably chill and then we'll grab it for now. We might round back to that later, but I guess we can move on with Strive now, since you doesn't know you are kind of dabbling with that as well. I guess we're really get into that. How do you go about balancing two games at a high level?
Honestly, before, when Grand Blue had just come out, I was playing Strive. It was I guess, legacy skill for Strive, which is crazy to say, that was carrying me through a lot of brackets. Because when Grand Blue came out, I wasn't actively playing too much Strive at the time. I was literally just on Grand Blue a lot of the time. But it was just like, legacy matchup knowledge, like, mash on the Pierce Capozzato, FD Milia out, I be this, I be that. That's what was honestly carrying me through a lot of the game. But now, recently, all my focus shifted on the Grand Blue. Like, Strive is just something I enter just for shits and giggles. Like, I don't practice that game really anymore. But before, when I was balancing, before I was trying to balance Under Night, Strive, and Grand Blue all at the same time. It was honestly just like, what did I feel like playing more of at the time? I didn't treat it like a job. It was just like, if I'm not having fun with one game, I go to the other, and so on and so forth. It's just a matter of what you enjoy, because if you play a game that you're not having fun with, it shows in your gameplay, is what I've noticed. So that's how I went about it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Probably one real thing I've heard in a while. A lot of people just don't realize they're playing that shit for, like, just to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely fair. I know when I have my fair share of times where I'm definitely not feeling the game, and it's just like I'm known for a few things, and when I'm not doing those things, it's like, okay, yeah, something going on,
Definitely.
But yeah, it's also kind of interesting how different players go about practicing games. I know obviously some players are kind of like you, it's kind of just like a flavor of the day for the week type of thing. But others, they like really pick, okay, I'll play this for a few hours, or I'll play this today or this tomorrow or something like that. Like, I think I kind of doing that with Strive and Uni, but I do kind of prioritize the game that I'm have coming up soon. So it's like this Saturday I have a local at Macon, so I'm kind of for Uni. So I've been mostly on Uni the past week. But at some point it's gonna be swapped to Strive, because I'm doing Strive at if I can make it, Texas Showdown, obviously all the Atlanta stuff. So yeah, it's definitely just interesting to see how different players go about playing multiple games. And you have people like fucking Chris G playing 18 different games and being top like a nerd. So and I even asked him, what does he usually do, and he actually plays. He told me he plays a character that doesn't really take much labbing. So which is actually pretty smart. He plays Lil Wayne and Grand Blue. He plays Axel and Strive, so that doesn't make sense already. But the concept makes sense. It's there. The vision.
Yeah.
Cause you got to laugh for Axel all over, bro. But it's alright. But
I mean, you just throw your pokes out. No one knows what to do most of the time. So
true. Yeah. You kind of can just throw pokes for 2 rounds in a bracket, to be honest. But yeah. So I guess even though you're not really taking Strive all that serious right now, you're kind of just hard locked on Grand Blue. Do you still have any strong opinions about Strive right now, especially with the current season, to where you don't want to take it more serious than just season giggles?
For Strive right now, I feel when I try to go back to play the game, I feel like the overall, I feel like the skill level has not to be mean, it looks like it's kind of fallen down. I guess the threshold to be considered a high level player is a lot lower from how it looks.
That's some real shit. I can't lie. That's real shit just right there.
I'm not trying to be an asshole. I know there are definitely people there that put their heart and soul into the game, but it's also there are people who are placing well at these events, doing really well in some of these brackets where it's I see how they play. It's there's no way this kind of gameplay is encouraged when it actually is, which is crazy to me, which is what I kind of miss about when I tried to go back to the game. That's what I missed about like season 2, where it felt like it was more about how you played the neutral and structured your offense in season 2. Whereas in season 3, 3.5, season 4, there's like so many like overbearing options that you have to deal with on defense that it's just absurd. Like characters like Slayer, Abba, Alpha, Johnny, like those characters are just doing stuff, and I'm just like, dude, there's no way.
Yep. Times like this, I wish I had my cam on. That's all I was doing. Well,
Yeah.
like, bro. But yeah, nah. I mean, I get it. I mean, we're in an age where people are, a lot of these players are, they're either just young as hell or just socially fucking inept. So they're probably gonna be emotional, but I mean, it's reality. You know what I mean? So while there is some truth, I feel like, to where players, well, not really only that too. I think the terms themselves kind of lost meaning along the way. Maybe it's a test to like, names being, somewhat easier to grasp or whatever, or just the way they're designed in terms of gameplay and like how they play at a certain level. But it's just, you just don't see a lot of actual fundamental skill because, it's all about the mechanics in the game most of the time. Just from what I noticed. I mean, we have people like, MenRD even saying this a lot of the time where in that episode with Jay Wong, in that face-off thing, he pretty much said, a lot of the, older generation players, they kind of have, they'll win off fundamentals, but newer games, newer players will usually beat old heads because, they're better at using mechanics, That's how
Definitely.
That's just how it is.
Yeah.
As well as I mentioned earlier about the misuse of the terms, we have top level, high level being thrown around where it's like, bro, like, how? You know what I mean? It's the same thing.
Yeah, like,
it's the same thing.
What is?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, bro.
It's
The
crazy.
definition for high level or high skill is just so like muddled right now.
Yeah.
Especially in Strive.
Yeah, I'm again the same thing. I watch a lot of players, use even some actual like because I play the dude, right? Like, and I'm just like, how is this motherfucker winning? But it, and then it's whatever, bro. It's whatever. But what can you do? But like I said, no point really knocking it. That's just fucking matter. And if I'm gonna knock you down, I'll say it to your face. So it's all good. Anyways, moving on as well. I lost my shit. Wait. Oh. Okay, so I guess we can move on probably to Frosty as well, since we did talk about you training up for that. So I guess firstly, is there any extra stress for you considering it's an Aqua Tour qualifier, or just like another just high level bracket that you're prepping for?
For me right now, if I want to qualify for Arc Road Tour without having to go to LCQ, it would have to be Frosties. I would have to win or get second or third place if the stars align. I would have to get second place if Koji Coco and Ryazo get first, and then if we both meet in Grands. Or I would have to get third if Koji Coco and Ryazo both meet in Grands and I'm third place, of course. But with Aaron not going, it also lowers my chances. Because that would mean like, I would have to get fourth or something. But I do just want to shoot to win. Like, I don't want to settle for that. I would love to win a major for this game, which I definitely feel like I'm capable of. But it gets pretty hard with the way I play and the way my character is. Like, you look at a majority of the characters at the top level, the consistency that most of these characters have is simply through the roof. Like, you look at Koji Coco playing Belial, Catalina, Beatrix, characters that honestly excel at something and don't have too many downsides. And then you look at characters like, you look at Zippy's character Lucilius at the moment, who will kind of win for just doing, they could lose the whole round, but they can okie doke you in about one interaction, which is really scary. It's just a matter of consistency and how well I can manage, my character and I guess my emotions as well in a bracket setting. Because Grand Blue is a really tilting game. Like, people will do stuff that doesn't make sense in the moment, and it can definitely affect your gameplay. Like, I can play more aggressive, not take Oki, do really irrational stuff that leads to me getting hit more often, and in a first queue setting, that's not what you want, which is something I have to manage myself. So going into Frosties, well, if you asked me this question like about a week ago, I would say I'm not confident at all. Like I was definitely in my own head. I'm like, dude, I don't know how I can beat these people. I've lost all these players before. It's super up in the air. But if you ask me now, I am definitely a lot more confident now because at that point I was not confident in my own gameplay. I wasn't thinking about how I should structure my offense, pressure, neutral, etc. But now I'm definitely feeling a lot more confident in that. Like I feel like consistency when it comes to how I get hits in neutral or in my own offense, it's a lot better now. Like I'm feeling like I could win this event if I play really well.
That's dope. So do you have like a regiment going into that right now to like build that up?
Honestly, it's not even anything super strict. Like I just want to boot up the game at least once a day, play the game. I don't want to rest. I don't want to get rusty, and I don't want to burn myself out at the same time. So I boot up the game. I either play a few games or I just hit in the training mode and just lab like a hit confirm off of a certain move. Like I'll boot up training mode for like 20 minutes. I'll put them in the corner, do my 5H counter hit confirm combo. I try to counter confirm my 5H constantly. I just do that for about like 20 minutes. Just be consistent with that because that's something really big. And then I try to counter confirm my lights, etc. I just want to have an air of a consistency because I don't want to go into a major feeling rusty. I don't want to go into a major feeling like I burnt myself out. Because when I go to a major, I want to play the game. I want to succeed. But going into that with either those mindsets or that feeling, definitely will feel like it hurts my performance because it's how I felt going into like, let's say Texas Showdown. I got 9th at Grand Blue that event because I was grinding. I was grinding hard for that. I wanted to win Showdown so badly, but I ended up burning myself out. I played pretty badly that whole weekend. I was making irrational decisions. I was playing angry at certain points in the set. My 9th place match, my top 8 qualifier match, I played horribly. Like for both games, emotions get to me, the crowd, everything. I played horribly. But then you go to Combo Breaker, where I feel like my morale at that point was at an all-time high. I got 4th that event. I played awesomely. I thought I was probably my best performance at the time. And you go to, I guess, my more recent events, it's pretty consistent. Like I top 8 every event I go to, but I've yet to like win something, which is what I'm trying to do with Frosties.
So it's more about consistency, like so you're not like seeking out matchups. It's just being consistent at the game and keeping your hands on. Got you.
Because how I feel at the level I'm at, matchups aren't super important. Because I feel like I know matchups really well, but it's also at the level where it's like I will not find anyone else that plays these characters the way they do, like these top players do, which I don't want to skew my knowledge on the matchup. I want to mainly rely on how I feel about it, which will lead me to just like I'll ask those players for games. Like I want to see how they play, how they respond, so I can probably get the upper hand if we play in bracket. But I don't find myself seeking out a specific players to learn X matchup like I would in like Strive. Because I remember like grinding for tournaments in Strive, it's like, oh, I got Dawn in my path. Let me go ask Tensorial for Eno games. I got Big Booty Man in my path. Let me go ask Sid Victor for games. I used to do that a bunch, but with Grand Blue it's really different. I don't actively seek out players for games as much as I used to. Unless I want to specifically learn a matchup, it's more of me having a specific game plan and sticking to that game plan in those matchups, which I want to get a hold of.
Alright. I guess, matter of fact, before we get anything, so I know, I meant to ask this earlier, but I forgot, but I guess it's also a favorite time to talk about, matchups and the consistency with Vasaraga, but I guess in the current state of Grand right now, I guess how exactly is Vasaraga like in a vacuum compared to I guess most of the other consistent or most common characters you'll see?
I think Vasaraga is either one of the, he can be one of the most explosive, he's one of the most, no, he is the most explosive, no, second most explosive character in the game. I would say most explosive, but I think Lucilius is the most explosive character in the game right now. He does too much all at once, and he will, like, you can be steamrolling him the whole game, but he throws out a few special moves, and you get it by a random layer to neutral, you're done. But Vasaraga, he can make you pay for your crimes more effective than most characters can. Because his average damage is pretty low, but off of like a random old skill starter, like he'll hit you with like an old fireball in the neutral, and you'll magically end up in the corner. And you're taking full corner damage into Oki, back into armored pressure, which leads to you losing the round off of that. Like you gotta spend a crystal, you gotta mash out somehow, but even then the armor will cover it a lot of the time, which just makes him really scary, and like I said, explosive. But I think he, like I said, he's pretty inconsistent, I feel like, getting some of those hits. If you're playing a really good player who can play pretty reactionary and mixes up their options in neutral, Vasaraga is like a pretty hard character to pilot in those scenarios when you're trying to call out certain options, but then they jump randomly or they spot dodge randomly. Because Vasaraga being a big character, he has these big body buttons that if they whiff, you're in big trouble. You have to sit back, reconsider a lot of things, which makes him pretty scary to pilot in some scenarios, some matchups. So honestly, the character for me, he's like a high mid tier, but I see a lot of Japan putting him like bottom 5, which I guess I see the sentiment. Like, he's a big body, you can steamroll him, he's kind of gimmicky, reaction check character, etc. But I think he can be solid in a lot of matchups, and if you're not conscious of what you're doing, Vasaraga can steamroll you and make you tilt, and you get steamrolled even harder. So I just think he's a solid high mid tier at the moment.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I had a question, but I forgot I wanted to phrase it. It was pretty much like, pretty much asking something along the lines of like what makes him like bad, like what makes him exactly inconsistent about playing a versus 2 game, whereas some other people like they always do this kind of just like prove. But I think you kind of answered it with mostly if a player is able to be reactionary all the time. But I guess segueing from that as well, I guess, do you think his macro spread is kind of decent enough at least to be at least be played far in bracket?
Honestly, in my opinion, I don't think he has a super good matchup spread. Like, he definitely beats characters, for sure. Like, he beats characters. I'm not gonna say he doesn't, but he doesn't beat meta characters. I think, if anything, he loses to most of the meta characters at the moment. He either loses go even or goes even with them. He definitely loses to Belial. He gets dookied on by Catalina. Grimnir is 50-50 on even or losing. If the Grimnir plays at the right spacing, Vasaraga it's very hard to pilot him in that scenario. Lucilius is super hard. Vasaraga has to make so many right decisions because he doesn't do too much damage off of stray hits. But Lucilius is always building up in the air to get that damage. And then you got Beatrix as well, who that's probably Boss's best matchup in the toppest tier. Like, I think he goes pretty even with her. If not, he probably beats her because she has to play 2 in his face for a lot of things to matter. So she has to make her way in, like where Boss can kind of keep her out really well with his fireball and his massive buttons. But overall, his matchup spread against the top of the roster, like the S tier characters, it's not good at all. But against characters that are these less common, or I guess lower level characters, he will do pretty well against, because those characters down there don't have options to deal with armor most of the time, or they have really bad ones or really overcommittal ones. A lot of things Voss can do can sometimes feel like they invalidate those characters, which makes them a pretty decent threat in bracket. If you run into one, it's like, oh, I can get hit by a random ult skill and die sometimes. But another reason why Vasaraga struggles against these really good characters is his defense is like probably, in my opinion, the worst in the game. He has a slower pre-jump startup, with Ladiva being a big body at 5-frame jump squat, and also a 6-framer where the universal fastest button is 5 frames. His defense pretty bad, and he has the only reversal in the game. It's the only ultimate reversal in the game that can be safe jabbed, which also makes his defense pretty weird. But it's also a really good ultimate reversal because it's command grab, so he can reversal in certain spots where you wouldn't expect to get hit. So it's like it's really wishy-washy with how his defense is, but I think it's the worst in the game, which is why he's not super consistent.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I think with a lot of the way these games are, you kind of really need that stability. But especially when obviously with a lot of players wanting to win, right, and being competitive, they're gonna obviously play the best. So if you don't have a good matchup with obviously some, like at least even a few of the most common returning characters, I mean, it's like it's not chalked, but you're definitely gonna have a fight for you.
Yeah, for sure.
So I guess with that being said as well, with how a lot of these players are playing those many characters we talked about earlier, I guess I know you kind of already named up a few, but were there other notable players going in the same bracket that you would kind of either look like you think it's likely for you to run into, or just whether you're nervous about it, or just kind of just playing it by ear, or is there like you're like looking for?
If anything, I'm most nervous about this one player. Have a Nice Day. They've been running amok in these online brackets, and they play really good into me. I find myself being really hard to be consistent against them. When they play Beelzebub, I feel like I can't touch them, but when they play their other characters, I can beat them for sure. Like, I probably have the upper hand in those matchups. And then there are just other players that I just play too often that have a hold on how I play. Artorias and Zippy being the notable ones. Artorias is, in my opinion, the most fundamentally solid player in the game. He has very solid neutral, very good reactions, and a very good autopilot and pressure structure. Whereas Zippy, I would say we're just training partners at this point. I've played definitely like thousands of games with them, probably. Like, I play them way too often, and they're also just a really solid player. But also, one player that I feel like everyone should look out for at Frosties is Monarch, the Blaze Blue God. That guy plays Matera, a really, really uncommon character. He's honestly not super good right now, and he's, in my opinion, the best Matera in the world right now. He is too good, fundamentally, and as a pilot for the character. I think a lot of people will get upset by him at Frosties, including me. I think I could definitely lose to him, but we'll see.
Yeah, bro, I think I've seen Monarch before in like a random Blaze Blue packet that I looked at, and I don't remember if I wouldn't be surprised if I did see them play in Grand Blue, because I was kind of on like my Matera learning arc for like a few minutes, but yeah, that's definitely dope. So we'll see then.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. No matter what the path is, I know the path isn't out right now, so it's kind of hard to really make any judgment past that. But nonetheless, whatever it ends up being, definitely good luck to you.
Yeah.
Let's just hope it's not like what happened at fucking
Dog. Nah.
Yeah.
If we have the same issue we had at Taku, bro. Nah.
Bro. Shit was nasty.
Yeah, I definitely heard too many horror stories from the season at Taku. So hopefully it doesn't happen.
Yeah. But honestly, for me, if I were to get a path at Taku, I would want to fight any of the, I guess, outer region players. Any player that's not from NA, I would love to fight them. Not like I said, oh, I can't wait to fight someone from out of the region. No, I mean, I will smoke them. Like, I will definitely beat them. That's what I mean. I'm not scared of Skill. Skill is going to the many plays. Sorry, Siegfried, I'm not really scared of them.
Skill plays?
Pepe Udaha, I'm not really scared of their Belial, because I have perfectly good Belial practice where I'm from, and my Coco and Aaron both play the character, and I do pretty well under both of them. and there's just some other players like this Lil Wayne player, at least Bogus. I perfectly solid into that matchup. I feel like I'm the best boss frog at that matchup, honestly. And that's really all I can think of. Like I would definitely love the opportunity to fight them, not even just like in bracket, but also out of bracket. But in bracket, I would like to fight them because I definitely think I would win.
Yeah. Word, okay. Word.
Fuck it, W mindset.
Yup. Omega, did you have any final questions to ask?
Oh, I should ask earlier, but you know, me from Texas. So, who do you think has the best offline scene, and why is it Texas?
Best offline scene? Oh, I mean Texas. Too many locals. Texas. My Texas homies, we run deep. Like I met these guys 2022, early 2022, and they're my best friends ever since. Like they're so chill, and even still, like branching out from just the anime scene, the Street Fighter scene, they're super chill. I got a bunch. We have locals every week. Like especially where I'm from, Dallas. We have 2 locals every week. One on Wednesday, one on Friday. And then sometimes a local on Sunday, and then we have a bi-weekly on Sundays, and then we have other events that that happen just every so often. We have Attack on Texas. It's like once a year thing, and we're trying to push to a major eventually. And it's just so many different people, and there's so much like legacy in that as well. Like y'all know that one clip from Evo where the guys take their shirt off in Street Fighter 4?
Yeah.
They go to our local. They go to my local. One of the Onisan. They go to my local.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, and then it's also like we got like just really solid players. Well, like a Dark African in our scene. Yeah, MK Goat, Cusco. Like we got so many solid players in this region that it's like it's sick. It's so cool. We got what's his name, King Gambler for MK. He's in Texas. They go to Texas stuff. Like there's like, and then in Houston's crazy. Houston's probably the strongest scene in Grand Blue at the moment. They got Elsa, Jan, Coco, like Tenure Mule's not Houston, but he's also Texas. But yeah, Texas is super solid. Like all around the whole state, just solid. I think in any game besides like probably Strive right now, no. We have Elusive's pretty good. I don't know who else is in Texas. We have some really solid Texas players.
Give the Texas Strike players like 2 weeks, and we can be any region.
Okay, wait. I do remember we have what's the name? Cloned as Texas. I didn't know that till Taku. I talked to them at Taku. They're Texas.
They're Texas? The fuck
yeah, Cloned. They live like in the middle of nowhere, but they are Texas. But it's like honestly between Texas, NorCal, and then Tri-State area, like that region. Like between all those, I think Texas is definitely in the top 3, like for any fighting game. And just for local scenes in general, Texas is just super solid all around. In terms of just homies and competition, it's peak. It's great.
Man, bro, talking about some goddamn why the Texas. You don't even go offline, bro. Shut up.
Hey man, I just know how it is out here.
Alright, bro.
Yeah,
When I pop out, I know I feel it.
exactly.
I can't even deny, bro. I can't do that. I've been out there once, I think, actually, for Texas Showdown 2023.
You were there for 3. I definitely remember that.
Yeah.
You weren't there for 4, right?
No,
Man, 4 was good. 4 was good. Last year was good.
Yeah, I'm really trying to go out there this year, to be honest. 1, to redeem myself, 2, to of course catch up with Texas homies, and 3 for other professional reasons I'm trying to get out there. But yeah, I definitely noticed, you know, Texas players they're always like one of the most chill and one of the strongest players you'll meet. So I definitely appreciate, you know, a lot of people out there. Of course, like, you know, you, Prophet, Morty.
Oh hell yeah.
Like that's a fucking sloth. Like, bro, like, everybody's crazy.
Yeah, those are my good. Like, you gotta show up to a Texas Showdown where one player for DFW makes top 8. You see a DFW player make top 8 at Texas Showdown, you will hear it from Georgia. Trust me.
That
Like,
building is going down.
yes, like we are the loudest in the venue. Like we leave the venue, party's over. We leave the venue, no one's hype enough. Like we're gone. Like it's all right.
Yeah.
But no, when we're there, we're loud. The people we are known.
Yeah,
And you knows we're there.
We can definitely attest to that. Yeah, even at Taku, because I was at Taku 2023.
Yeah,
bro. Even there, it was like ridiculous. Like who was it, bro? It was
definitely Morty.
Yeah, it was definitely Morty. Oh my god, who's on stream, bro? Oh
Probably Ponchers.
Yeah, Ponchers.
I think it's Ponchers and when it's fighting Hitachi.
Yeah, it's Ponchers. I think who's the fucking Geo, bro?
Profit or
no? It was Shambles.
That's my guy. Alex. Oh my god.
Bro, nah.
Yeah.
When they were on stream, bro, I was in tears, bro. Yeah, but yeah, definitely most love to the Texas folk. I mean, never came to that. You know, wish we had that, but it's alright. You know, we got some chill people. You know what I'm saying? We cool. We chill. Man, but I do believe it's gonna wrap up today's episode of In the Lab. Thank y'all for tuning in. Whether you're watching the premiere or watching it afterwards. Of course, BlueSkyGuy, where can they catch you at?
You can find me on Twitch, BlueSkyGuy BSG on Twitch, and also on Twitter. I have BlueSkyGuy BSG. I've been streaming on YouTube a bit by the same name, BlueSkyGuy BSG, of course. But yeah, that's where you'll find me. But yeah, you can also you'll find me at tournaments, offlines. I'll be at Frosty's. I'll be trying to make my way to LCQ. And I definitely want to make Combo Breaker, CEO, Showdown, and maybe Evo this year. Maybe Evo. So we'll see.
Man, I know that Evo shit about to hurt. Oh, bro, I'll never forget, bro. It was Evo 2023, bro. Like when it ended, and they immediately posted like the info for 2024. Me and Fed, like we framed one look at flights. That bitch said 700. I said no, bro.
Yeah, no.
Bro, it's a year in advance. You're talking about 700.
Evo be tapping pockets. I keep like.
Oh yeah.
And I get so mad too, bro, because Evo it's a major where if you have any interest in fighting this at all, period, you have to go. Like at least once, even if you don't.
I've been to one Evo.
Oh, word, man.
It's mandatory. Like it's like a rite of passage. If you play fighting games, you gotta attend one Evo once in your lifetime.
Even if you don't like it, bro, just go. It's like literally the Super Bowl of fighting games.
The environment is crazy. Like everyone should go, at least once.
Yeah. Well, with that, Omega, where can they find you at?
Catch me on Twitter at _alpha Omega.
As for me, you can catch me on Twitter and YouTube at ATLRight_. You can find me at Twitch, YouTube, and I believe TikTok is ATLRight without the underscore. So yeah, with that being said, thank you once again for tuning into the episode of In the Lab. Catch us next week. Hopefully things go well. And if anybody's listening to the Frosty well BSG, good luck. And that being said, thank you for tuning in. We'll catch y'all next time. Peace out.
Appreciate y'all.
Keep labbing.
Peace.